So hi, today we're going to start with answering paper 2 questions. Okay, paper 2 questions that we have in our handout. Our aim today is to finish all 3 questions in the span of 2 hours. Okay, and I cannot stress enough that the paper 2 question, okay, in linear law is a culmination of everything that we've learned so far. So all the skills we had before, how to form the equation, how to find the gradient, how to determine which is the y-intercept, everything becomes very important in this one. Okay, and this is one of the questions that all NMaths teachers okay, I don't think there's any NMaths teacher that will say jangan jawab soalan ini. Okay, all NMaths teachers will tell you jawab soalan ini because this is the easier question of all the chapters Okay, unless you're the person that really likes integration and coordinate geometry. Okay, linear law is kind of a lifesaver for a lot of people. Okay, so I'm going to show you. We're going to start with the first question. Okay, which is this. Okay, I want you to take a look at the first question here. So the table below shows the values of 2 variables x and y obtained from the experiment. Variables x and y are related by the equation y equals to ax cubed plus bx. Okay, so it's always important to note that in the question, generally, okay, in the question, they will give you an original equation which is not linear. Okay, so I would actually galakkan kamu okay, to highlight this one okay, and then to write down here, this is the original equation and it's usually non-linear. Okay, y equals to ax cubed plus bx. Okay, we continue reading the question. Let's analyze the question first because the question gives us a lot of information. Okay, the biggest mistake that people will usually do is to jump straight into the question and answer without realizing what is going on. And then once you finish drawing the graph, and then only you want to figure out all this by the time kamu punya pemikiran sudah kalut. Okay, so it's better to get a clear picture of what you want to do before you do it. Okay, try not to make the mistake that buat dulu baru fikir kemudian. Okay, in life also we should also be like this. All right, look at the graph that they're asking us to plot. Okay, the graph that they're asking us to plot, okay, is y over x, okay, against x squared. Okay, the jadwal diorang bagi kita is just x and y. Okay, so take a look at this. First of all, we have y equals to ax cubed plus bx, which is the original equation. But the graph they asked us to plot is y over x against x squared. Okay, so let's put all the information over here. Okay, I'm going to use, this is a general guideline I have. Okay, if our graph is y over x against x squared, okay, and I'm only given x and y, the first thing I will need to do is to make a new table. Okay, and since it is y over x against x squared, I will put y over x at the bottom and x squared on top. Because the graph that I'm about to get, okay, is y over x yang menjadi paksi y, and this one will be x squared. Okay, that's the first thing you did. Sorry, there's a question that's being asked of me. Yes, kalau table itu terbalik, usually it's not a problem, but because we are very used to x and y kan, x dulu baru y, saya takut kalau kamu terbalik, kamu salah baca. The tendency for students, especially during exam, so exam kan, a lot of people will go into automatic mode. So I'm afraid that if you kasih terbalik, okay, you may end up making the graph terbalik. I cannot stress this enough because I have many students who are very confident in this question, but they're too confident until they buat terbalik, terus everything hancur because they forgot to terbalikkan in the graph. Okay. Secondly, before we even start doing anything, okay, let's figure out what the linear equation is first. Since we know that our y-axis is y over x, okay, and our x-axis is x squared. Okay, let's change this so that dia menyerupai ini. Before you even start drawing the graph, I want you to figure out this one first. This one must be done first. Okay, otherwise everything dia akan jadi hancur ini halfway along the road. Oh, there we are. Okay, so we're going to start with the original equation now. Y equals to ax cubed plus bx. So in order for us to become y over x, we need to divide everything by x. When we divide everything by x, this one becomes y over x, okay, settled, equals to a x cubed divided by x will be x squared, plus dx divided by x will become d. Okay, and we find that our graph sudah dipenuhi because this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Okay, once you've already memenuhi this syarat, okay, then what you do is you write this over here, y over x equals to ax squared plus d. Then from this linear equation, identify which is the gradient and which is the y-intercept. Okay, and logically our gradient is a, our y-intercept is b. Okay. Once you have all this information, then you start work. Okay, this is my personal belief lah. Okay, a lot of students will immediately start with the table first. Okay, but I believe that if you have all the information, it's easier for you to start the work. Okay, so since we want a graph of y over x against x squared, okay, we need to change this table. This is the original table given. Okay, so in order for us to have the x squared, okay, in order for us to have the x squared, we have to work by pair lah. So kalau x adalah 0.5, x squared will be 0.5 squared. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to fill up this table, and then I'm going to ask one of you to read out your answers for me. Okay, so yeah, one of you, I'm going to turn on your mic in a while. Okay, so I give you 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute to fill up this table, and then I'm going to unmute one of you to tell me your answer. Okay, pausing recording. Okay.
Lepas tu 2.25 6.50.
Okay, I'm going to stop here for a while. Everybody else okay so far? Can okay, all right. Continuing. Thanks, Kelly. Continue.
Lepas tu 4.00.
Okay.
5.40.
5.40. All right.
6.25.
6.25.
Lepas tu 4.00.
4.00. Last one.
9.00.
Okay.
2.40.
2.40. All right. Everybody okay with that? Semua okay? Hello, semua okay? Thanks, Kelly. Okay. So we are kind of halfway done now. Okay, let's go back to the question. So the question then now says, okay, so plot the graph of this one using the scale. So guys, they give you a scale for a reason, so you don't have to think about the scale. If it is 2 cm to 1 unit, means one big box is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then yada. And then draw the line of best fit. Okay. Now for physics students, you should know what the line of best fit is. The line of best fit is the one yang balance on both sides and try to join as many as possible. Okay, so right now what I want you to do is to take out your graph paper, okay, and to draw up this graph. Okay, if it is 2 cm to 1 unit, okay, which means that every big box is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you look lah, kalau x squared paling besar nilai adalah 9. Okay, fine. I'm going to need to change this lah. Okay, y over x. Okay, this is the graph of y over x against x squared. So y over x, biggest number is 7.84. So you're thinking sini paling besar is 8 lah. Okay, and then over here the biggest is 9. So strange that this is 9, but okay, never mind. If you can't fit it, then you probably have to kasih terbalikan lah. Yes, Aris. Line of best fit. What about it? Yes, that's why it's called a best fit. Okay, the 2 rules of best fit, okay. Okay, especially this is probably new for the AC students, okay. So best fit, the line of best fit, okay, follows 2 rules. The first rule is join as many points as possible. Okay, you are not going to get a perfect graph. Okay, let me tell you, 70% of the time, kamu tidak akan dapat graf yang cantik. Semua tersambung. Very jarang. Okay. So if you cannot join, okay. So the unconnected points, the unconnected points, okay, must be equal in number on both sides of the line. Okay, so for those of you especially who are new, okay, don't worry, just take a snapshot of this, or just silent this first. But I want you to try to plot the graph first. Okay, plot the graph, and tables perlu masuk dalam graph paper. No, table goes behind. Guys, anything on the graph paper is only graph. Okay. Everything else, pengiraan, menulis ini semua mesti di belakang kertas graph. Never do your calculation on the graph paper. Okay, I don't know about the marking scheme, but I know that for me, it is very bad discipline to write your answer on the graph paper. Okay, so all answers that are nothing to do with the graph must be at the back of the graph paper. But you can do this from question 3 onwards, question 2 onwards lah. Okay, kalau kali ini kau sudah buat, don't forget this lesson. Okay, in the exam, I also emphasize this thing. Okay, answer that should be written on the white paper, on the white paper. Answer that should be written on graph paper, graph paper. Okay, don't write everything on it because it's very messy. Okay, so plot the graph first. Okay, plot the graph first, and then we're going to ask somebody to show to show us his graph. Okay, pausing recording. Okay, everyone, we are back. Okay, and what we're going to do is I'm going to ask two people to help me to show us their graph, and then we learn from the graph. Okay, see whether the graph is the best fit, see whether it fits, and then see how we can improve. Okay, there's always room for improvement when it comes to line of best fit. There's always one way that we can improve. And do not be surprised if your graph and whoever I'm going to ask to show us, if kamu punya graph hampir sama tetapi tidak sama. It's okay. Okay, don't worry. There is usually there is no like one really correct answer lah. Okay, mesti ada sedikit leeway. So the first person that I'm going to highlight, okay, is Timothy. Okay, Timothy, can you show us I'm going to spotlight your video. Okay, can you show us your graph, please? Okay, so this is Timothy's graph. A little bit nearer, please. Okay, so as you can see, he has oh, actually, Timothy, you can share your screen. But okay, never mind. We're just going to show. Okay, he has... Timothy, don't move. I cannot see. Okay, Timothy has 1, 2 points on the left side over here and 2 points on the right side over here. Okay, so this is what we call a line of best fit. Okay, it's a very nice fit. Okay, cuma I want to suggest that when you draw the line, draw all the way until the y-intercept, because last pun kita kena cari the y-intercept juga. Okay, but guys, this is a good example of the best fit. 1, 2, 2 points saja yang kena, and then the other 4 points tidak kena, but it is balanced on both sides. There's 2 on every side. Okay, so this is a good graph of best fit. All right, thanks Timothy for helping us. Okay, the next person that I'm going to ask for us to show is, oh sorry, come back to me. Okay, the next person we're going to ask to show is Haris. Okay, so Haris, I'm going to spotlight your video, ready to show us your graph. Okay, so this is Haris's graph and his face. So, Haris, kau kasih kena semua kan ini? Sorry, I'm going to unmute your video lah. You have to show us. Okay.
Kenapa?
Ya, kau kasih kena semua kan ini?
Ya.
Okay, if everything...
Tidak. Ini tidak kena, ini tidak kena.
Okay, so the one yang tidak kena is, oh okay, almost tidak kena lah. Okay, so you have 1 on each side. Okay.
Ini kira kan Isa?
I cannot see lah. It looks like kena to me though. Kena kah? Rasa kena. Oh, actually dia macam tidak kena sikit lah. But I think this is also a good graph. Okay, it seems to try to kena as many points as possible. And notice that there is an intercept already over there. Okay, thanks Haris. Don't show us the rest of your house first, please. I'm going to cancel the spotlight video. Okay, so we can actually map his room already. Okay, so right now, okay, if your graph is like that, then we're going to continue now. Okay, if any one of you, you're not sure about your graph, what you can do is you can take a photo of the graph and then show it to me later. Okay, and then I will see if you can improve. Okay, tetapi let's assume that all your graph is macam ni. Okay, let's take a look at the question. Let's continue to take a look at the question. So the question says, okay, draw the line of best fit. So soalan A settled. Okay, at this point, okay, you already have 5 marks. Okay, ada 5 markah sudah dalam tangan. Okay, so now let's take a look at question B. So question B says, use your graph from A, okay, to find the value of A and the value of B. Now, this is the reason why I said that very early on in the question, you need to do this step first. So that when you finish drawing the graph, okay, in my experience, when exam, people finish drawing the graph already, then they kind of, their brains kind of stop for a while because they, macam mana mau kira ni A dan B. Okay, so that's why I said, always start with this information first. So that awal-awal kamu tahu, okay, the gradient is A, and then the y-intercept is B. So you can answer question B1 very easily. Okay, so let's do B1 together. We're going to find the value of A. Okay, so A equals to the gradient. Okay, whenever we count gradient, people, you need 3 things. The first one is you need to choose 2 points. Okay, choose 2 points. Okay, and draw a triangle. Okay, now the triangle that you draw must be as big as possible. Okay, if you choose, let's say kau pilih ini 2 kan, then you get a very tiny triangle, memang out. Okay, there's no way you're gonna get this correct. Okay, in maths it's the same, in physics it's the same. You need to choose as big a triangle as you can, asalkan dia ada di dalam garis. So let's say, for example, I'm going to choose this point for my graph lah. This is my ugly graph. So I'm going to choose this point and this point. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the triangle. When I draw the triangle, I'm going to, state the coordinates. Okay. Okay, somebody is asking, what if I don't choose a point? Okay, what if I choose, because sometimes some places are more easier to read. Let's say saya pilih somewhere over here and somewhere over here, because dia kena ngam-ngam pada garis. Okay, you can always choose this point also if you want. Okay, you don't have to choose yang kamu plot itu kan, tidak payah kau pilih itu. Tapi syaratnya adalah the segitiga must be very, very thick. Okay, once you choose the 2 points, nyatakan dia punya x and y coordinate. Okay, and this x and y coordinate. Okay, and then calculate the gradient. How to calculate the gradient? Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay. Secondly, y-intercept. Okay, y-intercept is just terus baca saja. So, sorry, if this is B1, so A is the gradient. Okay, then yada you get the final answer. Then B is the y-intercept. Y-intercept is kau panjangkan garis ini. This point over here, read for me. How much is the value? Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this, and then I'm going to call on one of you to show us your answer again. Sir, kalau yang coordinates itu semua boleh bahkan tulis dekat graph. Itu boleh, because that is your working. But this calculation must be behind. Okay, not on the graph paper. Okay, coordinates you can write on the graph. Working behind. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this both, and then I'm going to ask one of you to show us the answer. Okay, pausing recording. Okay, so we're back and everybody has counted the gradient, and most of them got the answer for the gradient. It's antara negative 0.6 all the way to negative 0.70. Okay, and the average answer for most people is about negative 0.62 lah. Lebih kurang lah. Okay, some questions that were asked just now when we were pausing is what if my answer is more than 2 decimal places? Can, okay. I would say give up. Let's keep to the same standard. We use 3 decimal places. What if your answer is in fraction? Usually can, okay, but if it is, sorry, I'm spotlighted. Am I not spotlighted? Is everybody seeing me? Or is everybody seeing Tom? Me, right? Okay? Yeah. So, I think fractions is not a problem. Tidak masalah juga kalau kamu mau pakai pecahan. But I think it's better if you use decimal places. Okay? So now we're going to talk about the y-intercept. I think y-intercept generally won't change much. Okay? Can I have somebody's answer? Just type out your answers in the chat box, please. What is the answer for your this one? 8. Some people got 8. Some people got 8.2. Some people got 7.8. Okay. Aidan gets 8. Sean gets 8. Okay. I'm going to use 8. So we're going to use b equals to 8. So b equals to y-intercept. Therefore, the answer b equals to 8. Cukup. Okay. That's why, guys, we never use the graph. We never use the equation anymore. Everything is from the graph. Okay. Let's take a look at the B2 question. Okay. The B2 question says, okay, from the graph, okay, use your graph from A to find the value of y when x equals to 2.4. Okay, guys, this one is the one that you have to be careful. Dear Chaka, x equals to 2.4, but our graph is y over x against x squared. Okay, so we got to do a little bit of work to finish this. So I'm going to rub this section off, okay, to show you how the answer will work. So what you do is, okay, for the second one, you say, okay, when x equals to 2.4, kita mau cari the nilai y. Okay, so I need to change this x so that it looks like our graph. So we're going to use x squared. Okay, x squared is 2.4 squared. How much is 2.4 squared? 2.4 squared is 5.76. Okay, so from the graph, okay, when x equals to 5.76, kamu agak-agak, you'll probably use either 5.7 or 5.8, but I'll use 5.8. Okay, I will mark down here because x squared is 5.8. So, saya kasih naik. Once I touch the graph, I pusing. Okay, and I will get from the graph y over x equals to how much? Okay, ini bukan y guys. Follow the paksi. Kalau paksi y over x, this value is y over x. Okay, this is a very common question that a lot of people will lose marks because they forget yx saja. Okay, our graph is no longer yx. Our graph is y over x against x squared. Okay, so the question won't be very direct. Okay, they will indirectly you, and then in the end you still have to find x. So can somebody tell me this value, please? Once you have interpolated. Okay, waiting for the values. 4.3, 4.3. Okay, some people, okay, we're going to use 4.3, yeah? Okay, 4.3. Okay, but you're not done now, guys. The question asked is find the value of y. Okay, if you get 4.4, use 4.4. Okay, don't follow my 4.3. If you get 4.1, use 4.1. Okay, I'm going to use 4.3 because that's the first answer that came to me. 4.28 is not possible. 4.28 is not possible. You probably get 4.28 is too much lah. Yeah. How do you get 4.28? Okay, so 4.3, yeah. So when y over x equals to 4.3, I need to find the value of y. So which means I have to substitute the value of x again lah. And x is 2.4. So y over 2.4 equals to 4.3. Therefore, I can get my y equals to, for those of you who use 4.3, you will get this answer. Okay, 4.3 times with 2.4. So you get 10.32. Okay, and that's how you get the full 10 points. Okay. Macam mana kau dapat 4.28 dari graph? Oh, I don't understand. How can math 4.28? There's 10 small kotak. Between 4 and 5, there's 10 small kotak. Yeah. Macam mana kau dapat 4.28? Tidak boleh agak-agak. You have to make a choice. Is it 4.2 or 4.3? Okay, you cannot use microscope one. Okay, it's either 4.2 or 4.3. 4.28 memang ketara yang kamu ada mata Superman, okay? Kau boleh tengok lagi 10 kotak yang lebih kecil daripada 10 kotak yang kecil. Okay, itu sangat susah. Wow, Putri. Saya tepuk tangan lah. Okay, anyway guys, this is how we get the 10 mark question. Okay. I know it's quite long, okay. We took 1 hour just to answer one question, but because this first question is memang, pengenalan lah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we're going to move into the next question, the second question, and I want you to take a look at what the question is asking. Okay, so if you need to prepare the second graph paper, go ahead, prepare it. I'm going to show you the second question first. Okay, so this is the second question. Okay, and I'm purposely going to answer this, and we will probably end after this because if you're going to take 1 hour to answer one question, not lama lah. Okay, but take a look at the question, take a look at the original equation, take a look at the graph yang diorang mau kamu buat. Okay, and then try to see if you can change the original equation into the graph that they want. This is the original equation, people. Y equals to Q cubed multiplied by x to the power of n. Okay, and take a look at the one that they want you to draw. Okay, the graph of log y and log x. Okay, which means that your table has to be changed quite significantly. Okay, but try to change the equation first. Okay, take some time, try to change the equation. Sorry, I'm going to pause the recording first. Okay, so we're going to do question 2. I'm resuming the recording now. Okay, so this is the original equation given. Okay, y equals to q cubed x to the power n. These are the values, and the question tells us this is the graph of log y against log x. Okay, so we want to change this equation, which is the original equation, to change it to the linear form. Okay, so since we're dealing with log, the only logical thing to do is kasih log kedua-dua belah lah. Log y equals to log asal 10 q3x to the power n. Then we use the first log law because this is multiplied, so kita kasih pisah jadi tambah. So log n y equals to log n q cubed plus log n x to the power n. Okay, then we use the third law, bring the power to the front. So log n y equals to 3 log n q plus n log n x. Okay, once we have this log 10y and log 10x sudah, okay, log 10x sahaja. Kenapa saya tidak berhenti setakat ini? So ini ada kuasa n. I only want kuasa no kuasa because my graph asks for log 10x. So this is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. Okay, therefore I can say that yang bersangkut paut need to step by step. If you want a shortcut, so can, no problem. I'm showing it step by step because not everybody is, like, oh wow, tinggal satu kali terus faham tidak. Okay, you need to do it step by step for the benefit of everybody else. So this has to be the gradient. Okay, and this whole thing, okay, 3 log 10q is the y-intercept. Okay, as Putri very rightly pointed out. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to figure out the values over here, and then we're going to double check it. If you're confident with your values, go ahead and draw the graph. Okay, I'm not stopping you, but I'm just going to make sure that these values are correct. Okay. Okay, now that we have established this, okay, and that you guys have filled in this, I'm going to ask Tan Yi Hui from 5AC to read out her answers for us. Okay, hi Yi Hui, you are, wow, you're on the air. Wow, macam radio. Okay, can you read out your answers for us? Everybody just
Okay. The first 0.700 Log 10y is 2.100. Next is 1.000, 2.750, 1.1.
2.750.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then 1.176,
Okay.
3.100.
Right.
1.300,
Okay.
3.450.
3.450. All right.
1.398,
Okay.
3.650.
Okay.
1.544,
544.
3.950.
3.950. All right. Thank you, Ayui.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay, you can start plotting if you want. But if I just want to see if you want to level up this one. Yes. Kenapa, Putri? 2 decimal places. Okay. Mesti banyak-banyak kah? Okay, the reason kenapa saya cakap sini kau mesti banyak is because nanti on the graph baru bundarkan. Okay, mengikut kesesuaian. Okay lah, don't be so bad lah. Okay, kalau boleh guna itu. Because saya takut, what if lah. Okay, what if lah, soalan dia bagi satu skala yang membolehkan kamu buat sampai 3 tempat perpuluhan. That's a big problem, no? Kalau sebenarnya on the graph kamu boleh plot 3 tempat perpuluhan, tetapi kamu hanya letak 2 saja, then you have a big problem. Okay, so untuk sekali ini, kalau kau sudah terbuat, go ahead lah. Okay, dan saya rasa memang kau tidak boleh dapat 3 juga. Tapi in the future, untuk soalan-soalan yang akan datang, letak saja 3. Nanti di graph baru kamu bundarkan. Okay, same rule applies for everything in EdNet semua. Jangan bundarkan terlampau awal, hanya bundarkan jawapan akhir. Kalau kamu ada 10 tempat perpuluhan on the way, saya akan tulis semua 10 itu. Okay. Baru last jawapan kan saya akan bundarkan. Sebab the more you bundarkan, the less accurate kamu punya jawapan. Okay, kurang tepat. Okay, so for those of you who are already drawing, you should be expecting an increasing graph because you notice log x menjadi besar, log y also is increasing. Okay, so you are expecting a graph that looks like this. Okay, expecting lah. Okay, so try to draw the graph first, okay, and then we'll come back in a while. Okay, we're back and we're going to take a look at a couple of graphs. Need to connect to y-axis. Okay, sorry, I'm going to start with Aidan first. Okay, and I'm going to spotlight his video. Okay, Aidan, the show is yours. Show us your graph. Okay, the graph looks good. Dia memang start dari kosong-kosong ke itu? Oh, sorry, Aidan's mic. Okay. Sorry, dia memang start dari kosong. Oh, no, it's not from 0, 0. There's an intercept lah kan?
Yeah.
Take a look, there's 1, 2, ada 3 points yang tidak kena, 2 on one side and 1 on the other side. I think this is a fair enough, right? Good job, thanks. The next person is who? The next person is Joyce. Joyce already, okay. I'm going to spotlight Joyce. Okay, Joyce. Okay, this is Joyce.
Nampak kah?
Nampak. Saya nampak. Kalau yang tidak nampak tu, dia orang buta. Okay.
Macam pelik.
You know what? I think it's okay. Satu saja kah titik yang tidak kena? Yang lain semua kena?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Alright. Now, so guys, whenever you come to a situation like this, alright, thanks Joyce. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you come to a situation where ada point yang tidak kena kan, so it's always a good practice. Okay, it's always a good practice. You just double check your calculation. Sometimes it can be the calculation is wrong. Okay, maybe you made a mistake in the calculation, or sometimes that's just the way it is. Okay, it's very hard to gauge now because in recent years we find that a lot of the points, dia memang tidak kena. Okay, but we still hold on to the principle of best fit. Okay, best fit is try to kena as many points as you can, and the ones yang tidak kena, we try to balance it out. Okay, not too many on one side yang tidak kena, and then the other side like that. So a good rule is, a difference of 1, I think is still acceptable. Kalau no difference at all, like 1-1 or 2-2, is still better. Okay, it's always the best one. Okay, but this
Okay.
oh, sorry. I forgot to mute. Okay, thanks, Joyce. Okay, so let's go on to the gradient and the y-intercept. Okay, because that's the next part of the question. Obviously, the question is going to say, from the graph, find the value of q and n. Okay, so we're going to start with the value of n first, because n is the easiest. Okay, so try to calculate your n. I'm not going to draw the graph over here because there's no point. Okay, I'm not going to draw the graph. I'm going to show you the shape. So your shape should look something like this. Okay, so since we know from the early on that the gradient equals to n. Okay, gradient something like n. Go ahead, calculate the gradient for me. Okay, n equals to how much? Okay, let's get a few responses now. If you already calculated your gradient, let's this one. The reason why I cannot give you a yes answer or no answer is because I don't have the answer myself, and Kuan Lim didn't give me the answer. It's fine. Okay, but I think most of you, if you get about the same range, it's okay. Y-intercept 0.55. Okay, if you want to go there also can. So we have y-intercept. Okay, y-intercept is 3 log 10 cubed. Therefore, 3. So what is our y-intercept over here? Tong cakap dia dapat 0.55. How about the rest of you? 2.269 for gradient. 2.269 for gradient. How about the rest? Y-intercept 0.t. What's 0.t? 0.5. Okay, some people get 0.5, some people get 0.55. 0.51. Is it possible to get 0.51? Gradient 0.6. No, I don't think 0.6 is this side. Why this is 0.6 possible? 0.6, okay. So some people get 0.5, some people get 0.55, some people get 0.6. How about the gradient? So far, I'm only receiving one answer for gradient, 2.269. Is there any other answer besides this? 2.548, 2.31, 2.548, 2.31, 2.326. Okay, 2.375. Y-intercept saya dapat 0.25, tidak boleh tu. 0.25, I don't think so. Ethan, 2.437, 2.437. Somebody got 2.375. Okay, 2.437. I'm just going to take one more reading and then I will talk about this. 2.3 ngam, really? Okay. 2.3 ngam. Okay, so I'm just going to 2.075. Okay. So sometimes the question we need to ask is, why are there so many different readings now? Okay, there are a few factors. Number one, all of you have a similar graph. Kamu punya graph is serupa. Okay, but it is not the same. Because it depends on which point yang kau kasih kena. Okay, so, and that one affects your reading. Secondly, the point yang kamu pilih pun akan memberi keputusan yang berlainan. Okay, some people they choose right at the end and the y-intercept. Some people they choose here and here. They buat segitiga di sini. So the points that you choose, okay, also affect this one. Okay, but if I look at the pattern seems to be going, about 2.3 lah. Ramai yang dapat 2.3, 2.3, 2.269, so I would accept lah. Okay, yang saya bimbang sedikit, okay, okay, the one I'm a little bit worried are these three readings. 2.5 and 2.0 is a little bit too far. Okay, it's a little bit too far for me lah. Okay, ada yang dapat 0.45 ini. Sekejap, nanti saya cakap. Okay, so a good practice, especially during the exam or whenever you're doing an exercise, is to count, double check, and recount again. Okay, just to make sure that you are getting the right value. If your value is correct, okay, then I think you should not have a problem. Okay, the worst thing you can do to yourself is kamu sudah dapat jawapan and then you go and compare with other people, then lepas tu kau anggap yang kawan kamu yang betul dan kamu yang salah. Okay, dan terus kamu panik. Kenapa saya dapat jawapan macam ni? Okay, padahal kau punya jalan kerja betul sudah. So be confident in your own working. Asalkan kamu baca dengan betul, I think you should not have a problem. Okay, so for me, I would accept the 2.2, 2.3 answer lah. 2.4 maybe I will accept, but yang 2.5 and 2.0 kan saya rasa is a little bit too far already lah. Okay, Azhar dapat 2.214. Still okay. Alright. Okay, so gradient settle lah. So saya mau pergi kepada the y-intercept. Okay, so a lot of you give me these various answers, 0.45, 0.5, 0.55, 0.6. Okay, now for my purpose, okay, I don't know what's the answer, so I'm going to use an average of this. I'm going to use 0.55 lah. Okay, I'm going to use 0.55. So since we established, kita sudah tetapkan y-intercept adalah 3 log 10 q. So saya tulis balik begini. Okay, therefore my y-intercept is 0.55. Saya pakai ini ya. If you got 0.45, use 0.45. If you got 0.6, use 0.6. Okay, jangan main salin saya punya sajalah. 0.55 equals to 3 log 10 q. Okay, how am I going to change this? First of all, we need to bring the 3 back up. So 0.55 equals to log 10 q to the power of 3. Okay, and then after that, I need to hilangkan this log. So I shift log 0.55. Okay, so ini saya tulis di sini, but you don't have to write this lah. Okay, shift log 0.55. Shift log 0.55, you'll get 3.548. That's my answer. Okay, so 3.548 equals to q to the power of 3. Okay, saya mau Q saja. So what do I do with the cube? Saya kasih cube root. 3.548 equals to Q. And I should get Q equals to... Cube root 3.548. 1.525. Okay, 1.525. About lah, lebih kurang. Okay, this would be my final answer. Okay, if you got 0.5, use 0.5. Okay, don't worry about it. Yang penting, just follow the steps correctly. 0.166 jauh, no, I don't think. I think it's okay. 1.413, 1.47, can lah. It all depends on, semua bergantung kepada kamu punya graph. That's why the good thing about this question, kalau kamu tengok soalan dia cakap, okay, and actually ini sebenarnya bonus untuk kamu. Dia cakap daripada graph anda, from your graph, okay, not from the examiner's graph, not from the from the table. Kalau kita ikut table and equation kan, memang kamu punya jawapan tidak boleh pelbagai. You cannot have a very varying answers. But because the question say from your graph, okay, so no matter what, your graph is the one that plays the important role. Okay, so your graph will determine your answer. But the answer cannot be too far apart lah. No? There's a certain range yang diterima lah. Okay, kalau you dapat ini jawapan 2.7 then there's something wrong. Definitely something wrong. 1.5, 1.6 boleh lah. Okay, don't be too scared about it. Okay, everything okay with everyone? Si Haris sudah menyaku sudah. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording here, and I'm probably going to stop the class. So what I want you all to do, okay,